right, want to welcome y'all again to a new episode of the Shovanist Pigs podcast. I am your boy Logan the Machine, aka Old Man Logan. Want to thank y'all for tuning in. Today we have two lovely ladies here with us today. Designers, graphic designers, all that good stuff. I'm gonna let them introduce themselves right now.
You go first.
Hello, I'm Ellen. I am a returning guest, actually. I'm a head graphic designer for Lears and art director at Clear Channel. And I have my own plush brand called Hip Hop Happy Creatures.
Okay, so I am Veronica Ariel. I am a fashion designer, all custom, no wholesale, and that's it.
Ellen, Veronica, you got something? Okay?
Yeah. Oh, I am socialite.com. I got a whole bunch of masks because we're going in the second wave.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to wear them or not, you can just support the movement. I got clothes too on there.
There you go.
So.
All right. And of course, it is Shovanist Pigs. Wouldn't be Shovanist Pigs without the boy Rollo Jenkins over there.
Oink, 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 oink. I just established that last week and I was going to start bringing that.
That's a new joint?
That's my train call. I used to start barking at motherfucker like DMX used to bark. Oink, 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 oink in the grocery store. Like, move up, nigga, 6 feet.
All right. And of course, I've been teasing them for the last couple of weeks, but this last conversation we had, I just gotta call him Skinny Suge, man. You know what I'm saying? The boy Drew Kelly in the building. What's going on, sir? How you?
I'm all right, man. Just drinking, just sipping. Sipping.
Skinny Suge, because, he getting business handled and business done. All right, y'all? So with that being said, want to let y'all know to make sure that it's coming soon. The 6-pack with mild sauce, Chauvinist Pig podcast playlist, okay? That's brought to you by Skinny Suge. So that's why, had to put it out
Did y'all
there.
speak about this in the group text?
Yes, we did.
I didn't respond.
You never listen and you never text the text, but it's cool. All right, so
I'm going to change the name. I like the name.
you don't like the name? 6-pack with mild sauce. Chicago, man.
6 piece.
I don't know.
No,
I don't know about that one.
We'll
It's a working title.
it's a working time. All right, so fellas, how y'all want to do this, man? Now, I always have questions. Y'all know that. But like Ellen, welcome back.
Thank you.
Second time on the show. How have you been doing? You've been pretty busy.
Yes, I have. When was it? Like 2 years ago since I was back
It
here?
has been about that time. Yeah,
a
about
lot,
2 years.
yes,
Yeah.
a lot has changed, I will say. We recently did All-Star Weekend, of course.
Mm-hmm.
That was like the biggest thing recently. We did a collab with Adidas, Bulls, Billionaire Boys Club. We did a whole bunch of stuff with leaders, so
Nice.
I can get into
I was a
that
little
later.
jealous. I was mad. I said, man, we ain't getting no invitation in the mail. But, it's cool.
Why you being envious, man?
Cause it was looking awesome, man. And then I saw you were also at the Apple store.
Yes,
And you did a event there.
exactly.
And I was
yeah.
like, look, that was what I guess. Something like she up there sharing.
Go BBS or something.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah, we had her on the show. You know what I'm saying? So, thank you. I just want to, thank you for coming back,
Of course,
and,
yeah.
much
Love
success
you
to
guys.
you. You're doing great. You're doing
Thank
great.
you.
Veronica, we're going to try to make sure yours is just as memorable as Ellen's
Mhm.
was, okay?
Okay.
Alrighty, so what's going on with you?
Oh, just trying to pivot through this whole pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
I hear you.
My prom girls are still going on prom.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know where they're actually going,
Right.
but as long as I don't have to give no more refunds, they can go in the kitchen and wash dishes in the dress. I don't really care. So I'm just tying up those loose ends. Obviously, with the whole COVID situation going on, my mask sales have increased. I did it like in March. I donated 100 masks.
Mhm.
Well, it actually ended up being like 600.
Damn. Off your own pocket?
No. I just had fabric laying around. Like I
Oh.
got boatloads of fabric.
Mhm.
So I'm just like, let me do a good deed because I'm sitting in the house bored. I'm stuck. So let me do something with my time and my talent.
Right.
So-
Oh, yeah.
I put it out there. It went wild, and I ended up making a whole bunch of money. Not that I was started doing that with the intentions on getting any money, but
Right.
people was just cash apping me left and right, and I was like, well, might as well throw them on the website, and
Yeah.
here I am.
So was
Still-
it like one of
still
those
making
things
masks.
where you try to not necessarily capitalize, but like was you like marketing and promoting your brand with it, like putting your logo on it, so to speak? Or you were just like
So
doing custom joints.
I was doing custom, obviously, because it's all fabric that I had in my house because everything was closed.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just calling myself, like I said, trying to do a good deed, and it just turned into a whole portion that people needed. And I'm just like, let me just put them on my website so that way people can actually get them by themselves without having to call me or text me or DM me.
Right.
Boom, here's my website. Log on there and get all you need.
Nice.
And then leave me alone.
That's how you create during Corona.
No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, so that's what I've been consumed with. I'm not complaining. It's been a crazy blessing. Like, I've made more money in this pandemic than I think I've made during prom and working a full-time job when I was working.
Really?
Oh,
It's crazy. And I'm talking about no SBA loans. I didn't get that advance.
You get that 10?
I did not get that 10.
So apply for that 10?
I definitely
You
did.
didn't lie about your employees. Y'all got 90 employees.
You can do one.
That 10
You
would have
can do
been
one
a nice
employee.
little mean bulk fabric.
Yeah, but now they talking about bringing it back. Now I may end up having a miraculous amount of employees that
Right.
get hired in the next 2 weeks. But no, I'm just kidding. But
You need a part-timer. One sitting right here.
but no, that's what I've just been consumed with, masks. Now like I said, it's a blessing. I'm not complaining about it, but I do miss creating clothes. So I try to squeeze in something in between, but it's just when I'm thinking I'm about to get a break, then I just get a surge of sales on my website, and I'm just like, Jesus, more? I ain't complaining, but I'm just saying again.
And then you doing this all by yourself again?
all by myself,
Oh,
yeah,
wow. Nice.
all by hand, all custom, no wholesale. I gotta keep saying that because people
That's
out
your,
here.
That's your slogan right there.
It ain't.
If you didn't have one.
It just became my slogan today.
Now, Ellen, what y'all been doing over there at Leaders? Because it looked like, what I'm saying, the COVID ain't really slowed y'all down at all. Like, it's just been big things popping since the All-Star game.
Oh, for sure. It's crazy because, I will say, All-Star Weekend was, the biggest thing. Thank God we had All-Star Weekend before all this crazy shit happened, So everyone made their money. That was back in February. So thank God that went down. And then March happened, COVID hit, and that was just crazy for businesses everywhere. Everyone that I'm friends with losing their jobs, furloughed, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then the Black Lives Matter stuff happened, and then Leader sales just went up. It was fantastic. It was amazing for us, And now we're on a roll. Okay, we gotta keep pushing. We gotta keep putting out product. And so I'm starting to design stuff every single week. We gotta put something out every 2 weeks, 1 week, something. We recently dropped masks, and then I've been working on summer 2 collection. So hopefully that's gonna drop soon. And then I'm also trying to do collabs. So it's been really fantastic for our business at Leaders, to be honest. Yeah.
I think for small businesses as a whole, while a lot of people have been at home, this pandemic has in a sense helped a lot of small businesses thrive, because like you said, you wasn't even trying to do masks, Veronica, and before you know it, boom, you got an influx of mask orders. Same with you guys. You had so much going on already with Leaders, and then sales started to skyrocket because now everybody wants to support, Black businesses, small businesses, etc.
That too. That happened. Yeah.
I'm thinking about how do you come up with these collaborations? Recently you did 2. I was looking at the one with the hundreds and also the one you did with the Black Hawks.
Yes.
And the Black Hawks was pretty big because
people was fucking with that.
Yes. Okay. Well, I will speak on the hundreds. So I feel I sort of put that into the universe because when I was growing up in high school, how I got into streetwear was Leaders and the hundreds because of Bobby Hundreds. He was the only Asian American on the scene except for Nigo, but Nigo is full on Japanese.
Yeah.
So I was, I'm a huge fan of these 2 brands, right? And so even to Corey, I was like, hey Corey, I really want to talk to Bobby Hundreds. Can you make that happen? And he was just yeah, just DM him, whatever. Just tell him you're my designer. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like
That's
that.
how he operates too. I'm like, yo, can I get an interview, man? Just DM Diego.
Yeah, exactly.
He'll talk to you.
Yeah, exactly. So it was like that. And then he somehow saw the Hundreds team in Paris somehow, and then that's how it started, where, you know, the conversation of doing collaboration, where Corey was like, yo, we worked together for like 15 years. Your product was in our store, so why don't we just have a collaboration? So then we developed, it was like a year making basically of like developing collaboration. I hand drew, I'm wearing the shirt, one of the shirts right now. I hand drew both shirts for the collaboration. And so right before Complex Con, it was crazy because I actually did the Talk at Apple. So I did the Talk at Apple, basically did like a pre-release of like what we're doing. And then the Hundreds party and the release was like the Thursday right before Complex Con. And that was like mind-blowing for me. Like, I met my heroes, you know, like, I hand drew. Oh, yeah, that. But I hand drew, like, all the stuff, and then, like, oh my god, like, I'm talking to Bobby Hundreds, like, I'm asking him questions about, like, when he's on podcast and he's doing interviews, like, what do you meant by this? Like, it was amazing. So, yeah.
And another question I got is, like, I know how I feel about women in music. Like, I love women in R&B music.
Right.
I hate women rappers. There's nothing wrong with it. It's like, I don't like women rap, but I want to know, is there a struggle for women in the fashion industry to get forward, like I would say it is in the music industry? Because it just doesn't catch my ear the same way. I'm like, Blow That Yellow. That was my shit. Listen to it every damn day there about 2 years ago. But it's just like, other than like Queen Latifah, I just can't listen to like.
So you ain't fuck with Lauren? You ain't like Lauren?
That don't count as rap. It's like R&B to me.
Okay.
What about Rhapsody?
She deep hip hop.
She hold on, what?
She's deep hip hop.
Ah.
Interesting.
Like, I listen to Rhapsody.
I do.
Exactly. She under the sofa. Some coins in the sofa.
I mean, I hear she's cold. I tried to give it a listen, but
exactly. Everybody says she's cold, right? But it's like,
I mean, she is.
She's so cold. She's just too deep.
Yeah, I
She really ain't that deep.
When I'm working, I need a little bit of some turn up, some ratchet music. So
What's your go-to?
I don't even want to embarrass myself.
You ain't embarrassing.
Oh Lord. So not at all. So
that was middle school.
So my go-tos when I'm like when I need to zone out, I usually turn on like Project Pat at 360.
My nigga.
Oh wow.
That's my
That's
shit.
what I'm saying. Like y'all probably wasn't gonna expect it. Like so, Mr. Don't
Getty
Play
Green,
is one of my favorite albums.
Wow.
Shit.
I didn't
I'm
see
talking
that
about
coming.
front to back, know all the words. I was a big Bone Thugs and Harmony fan in high school
Oh, okay.
and grammar school. If that's showing my age, but
That is true.
I usually turn that Creeping on a Come Up and
I was just about to ask, Creeping on the Come Up or E99 Eternal? Which one?
man, I don't know, but see,
You
that's
really
what I'm
compare
saying.
the
Creeping
two?
on a Come Up only had a few like
Right.
It was
It was
it's
an
a
EP.
classic.
It was
though.
an
It's a
EP.
classic.
Mo Cheese for one of the songs because there was so little songs on the album.
It was an
is.
EP though.
It was a great EP.
I'm not
It
saying that it
was.
wasn't, but I know that, but it's still an EP compared to a whole album. It had like
To
18
me,
tracks.
technically, Illmatic is an EP, but I digress. We're not gonna go down that
Here you go
rabbit
with this
hole.
Nas shit. Here you go with this Nas shit.
But-
no, we're not gonna do that.
No, we ain't gonna do that.
Mm-mm.
Not this episode. Not this episode.
But do y'all feel like there's any challenging as women in the fashion industry?
Oh, yeah. Do you want to go first?
So I would say kind of, sort of, but not really. Maybe early on in my career, like when I first started in like 2007-ish, around the like late 2000s, kind of, sort of. No, but that would be like mid, right? Like a
So
mid
give me
2000s.
backstory. Like, what did you originally start off doing? Like, what was your beginning?
Mm-hmm.
So my beginning, oddly enough, I wanted to study psychology. And I don't know how I ended up
That's what I'm
in
wondering.
fashion. Like, so I mean, I'm really deep into like, you know, spirituality and stuff like that. So I feel like that maybe fashion design was my calling, because if I had a choice, it would not be anything that I would want to do. Because I'm not like a super people person. You know, I'm really like private. I like to be left alone. And you know, when you work designing clothes, you have to talk to people all the time, and they're spending money. So you literally got to turn it on and off. So I don't know. I guess like God wanted, this is the path that I'm supposed to do, and this is where I am. So when I started, I wanted to initially be, like I said, a psychologist, but I ended up in fashion design. And I've always been custom cut and sew.
Wow.
So, I would say it's not been a challenge for me, but I can see why it could be a challenge for women. And it's not just with fashion design, it's just women, period. Like, it's just a male dominated world, like, all the time. And it's always a double standard. So, a guy can put out a t shirt line and it'd be like dope. A chick put it out, it's just like, oh, okay.
So, was James Brown right? Is it really a man's world?
It's not, but, we're not going to go down that rabbit hole either.
Okay.
Okay.
But I mean, it's a challenge, I guess, in a sense, because I feel like maybe women aren't really like respected in a sense of, especially in Chicago at least, because Chicago is such a male dominated like fashion industry. You got like, like Corey with Leaders, you got Zoe, Dave Jeff, and so many others. I name them because like those have always been my inspirations.
Right.
But yeah, it's tough. It's tough because they have, I don't know, no chick in the city, no woman. I'm sorry, no chick, no woman in the city of Chicago that's like really dominating the industry like they are, like with the streetwear thing. You know what I'm saying? So I guess it's kind of a challenge, but not really. I don't know. It's hard. It's hard because I haven't been challenged with that, but because I've worked with all of them, and they've always respected my craft and everything. So. And it's been easy, and they give me gems. They do this, they do that. You know what I'm saying? So it's been easy for me, but I can't really say the same for maybe some women in the industry. From just sharing stories and whatnot. I don't know if that answers your question. Okay.
What about
Same
you?
question for you. I would say like also give them your back. We know your background. We interviewed you before.
Exactly.
You got new what? Listeners?
New
Viewers?
New audience?
I got viewership now because now you like to view this shit eventually. Once he gets done. New viewership. So I remember you telling us a story about the Chance coloring book.
Yes.
And that's how you really got your start.
Mm-hmm.
Going forward.
I have another story actually.
Oh shit.
But
shit.
first, I want to say shout out to Sweats by Sue and Autumn. That's holding Autumn from Sir Madam. Holding it down.
She's definitely a good one. Okay.
Exactly. Holding it down for female in streetwear. But yeah, I agree. So the reason why I feel like a big chunk of the reason why I'm able to grow so fast and be so successful is because I have these powerful men behind me. So I got Corey and Diego of Leaders behind me, and they act as kind of like my father figures, my mentors, and protection. And that's been really, really important to me. I always feel like I need to be protected in a way, being a female in a male streetwear industry. I design clothes for men, basically, so for like the longest time I feel very respected in this field. People know me as the head graphic designer of Leaders, so automatically I gain respect from that. But okay, so here's the story. So when we had that Adidas party at the Promontory, first of all, that was like the greatest moment of my life.
I accidentally got super slapped at that party.
Oh my god, you were there? Yes.
And I didn't realize that Maker's Mark could do that. I got home, I'm like,
oh, God.
It's whiskey.
It gets the job done.
I was like, let me check my phone and make sure I ain't text nobody. Like,
oh
on
my
accident.
god, you were there. I'm so
I definitely
happy.
was. I was.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. So me and the team, we worked so hard to get that done, right? I designed like all their shirts for it. Diego and Adidas were going back and forth on their shoes, and also putting together the actual party at the Promontory. So there were so many moving parts going on, right? We're trying to make this as like streamlined and perfect as possible, and it turned out fantastic. Like from what everyone's saying, But the thing was, so I was in charge of the guest list. So people were sending me emails, text messages of people who to put on, and I had to write all out on an Excel sheet and submit it. Literally the second before I entered the party, I was still writing in names.
Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Is that why we didn't make it?
You didn't submit
sorry.
it. Did you submit it? Tim, did you submit it?
It's you
Sorry.
We slack.
Chauvinistpigs@gmail.com. Just next time.
Got you. Got you.
Oh, we gonna be at the next one.
You guys are invited to all of the other parties.
Hey.
All right, but so the thing was, right? So like I'm leaders, right? Basically. And so and I wrote the list. And so Diego was calling me at the same time. So he's the creative director of Leaders. So he's also the general manager.
Okay.
So he's calling me on the phone like, "Hey, Ellen, something's going on. People aren't being let in at the door. Like, you need to check what's going on." I'm like, "Okay, got you." So I ran down and I started talking to the door guy. And I was like, "Hey, I'm Ellen. I'm, designer Leaders, blah, blah." I wrote the list. And I could already see in the crowd, like, okay, I need like that person and that person, and I'm just telling him like, hey, I need to get that guy in, right now, basically. And he was like, "I don't know who you are. Like, they never told me who you are. Who are you?" I'm like, "I just told you who I am." And he's like, "Sorry, but they told me I can't let anyone in." And I'm like, "I wrote the list." And he just was like starting to be very disrespectful, like, well, I don't care. Like, I don't know who you are, so
this
I'm not
basic ass security guard.
Yes.
That's how they
Yes.
really do act like
Exactly. I was getting so mad, and I almost started to like throw hands almost, where I'm just like, "I'm Leaders. Like, I'm trying to tell you, I wrote the list. I'm pulling up on my phone, and I'm telling you, this guy over there is on the list. I need him in right now." And he was like, "I don't care. I don't know who you are." And I was like fuming. I was so mad, right? And so I'm like, okay, I don't have time for this shit. Like, I called the guy to sign, like, "Hey man, like, I don't know what's going on with this dude, but like, you gotta wait for 1 second." So I went back upstairs. I tried to find the guy, the Adidas guy who was like running everything, and like the event coordinator basically. And so I was trying to find those guys, but then after like a few minutes, like, I see like this rush of people coming in, right? And I'm like, what is happening? What's going on? Like, people are just like coming in right now. And so someone told me like, "Hey, Corey just cussed out all the security." And I'm like, oh my God, okay.
He went Russell Simmons.
Yeah.
That's
He
what
a
reminds me.
real one. He a real
Reminds
one.
me of fucking
That's a
Russell
real
Simmons.
Right?
Without the rape shit.
I was gonna say, mine is to me too.
Oh god.
Yeah, totally. So then I finally found the event coordinator, and I was telling him like, "Oh my God, like, the door guy is like not believing who I am. I told him who I am, and like, he's not letting people in." He's like, "All right, it's fine, I got you." And so we both went down back to the door guy, and I needed to bring in even more people into the party. And so he talked to him and was like, "All right, this is Ellen. She's allowed to bring in whoever she wants." And I'm like, tight. And I'm like, all right. And I just point to the crowd, like, "I need that person, that person, that person right now." And then I was like, "Oh, also, I need more wristbands to give them out." And so I was because I had like this guy by my side, I was able to like have that power of finally of like respect of getting these people in.
We were talking about that shit earlier in the car. We were talking about how you gotta sometimes you gotta have somebody give you the OG call so you can do some shit for VIP shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, yo, you gotta be in that line for some shit, and you gotta be like, "Yo, you know me, right?" Like back in the day. That's how you go to like Red 05 on a Thursday when Timbuktu was DJ. Yo, me and Timbuktu, bro. Remember back in the day, like, "Yo, Deron, we just had the party at Wet, nigga. That was our shit.
We go way back.
We not waiting no line." We was in the VIP. We hooked y'all up.
Not wet though.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, that story's like
Yeah,
even
man.
getting me heated
On
right
the
now.
road.
Monday nights at Wet.
I'm like, wait, we might
You
be
took it all
the
the
same
way
age.
back. It's a
That
little
was
smoke.
us.
That was a smoke. I remember that shit.
Monday nights definitely was cracking. Or as the kids say, it was busting.
Yeah. But like,
T-Pain buy me a drink with that.
but like, it sucked because like this was like one of the pinnacle moments of like my career. Basically, we're like, wow, I just did a collab with Adidas, but this like door guy doesn't believe who I am. Like, oh, that
how
was
was the party
so
then?
sucked.
Because
Like,
clearly we didn't
terrible.
go, but y'all both.
I'm sorry.
How was the party?
We didn't get an invite.
I had a good time, yeah.
BJ the Chicago Kid before.
It was technically inactive at the time, so it's cool, you know.
Nah,
You
nigga.
remember this time period?
Right.
What?
Do you remember the time period?
What were you guys doing during All Star
This
Weekend?
was All Star Weekend.
Yes.
Oh, this past
Yeah.
All-Star Weekend. I'm
Yes.
going outside in the winter. That's my thing.
It was cold.
Oh, okay, look
I'm
at that.
fucking winter.
It depends.
It was
Yeah, it was
definitely
on the
cold that
situation.
night.
Outside was terrible.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm
That's
waiting
what I said.
outside in the
It
cold.
was technically
Yeah.
inactive.
I
still.
do
That's
it.
why you-
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're good,
Find
you're
somebody
good.
inside.
That's why she was drinking that whiskey. Keep her
Man,
warm.
Oh,
Whiskey-
I was,
Okay,
I was
so-
gone the
keep
next
you
day.
warm.
Like, I
when
could
I
not
got
do
there, I
anything.
was freezing, and I
Yes.
had just made this bomber jacket, and I was determined to show it off, and it was so cold. If I do say so myself, but it was so dope. So I was like, okay, I'm wearing this. I'm freezing.
Mhm.
It's colder than that thing, and I'm like, forget it. I'm cute. I'm wearing it. But when I got out, I was hot, and I was like, I'm sweating. I don't need this jacket. It's
That was
summertime
the
right
whiskey.
now. It
Whiskey
definitely
do
was the
it.
whiskey.
That's how I got wind of the viewers too. Like you did a picture or something. Maybe Chris took the picture. Chris Morris. He used to work at 90 Town with us. He was like deep hip hop.
Yes, that's my homie.
So he was like the young Bax.
Okay.
Facts. He can spit though.
He
Yeah,
can
that's what
rap.
I'm saying.
He can
He can
rap.
rap.
He can rap.
That's how I found you through Chris.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, maybe you were at 90 Town with us because you hit your name. It's like a bunch of 90 Town motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Pop up. Romisa.
But I also went to school with Romisa too.
Okay. Oh, you
Yeah.
from the north side.
North and south, kind of both.
That's why that makes sense then, because he went. Did you go to Lincoln Park?
I did go to Lincoln Park.
He went to Lincoln Park as well.
okay.
So that's
Oh, okay. That's how I did just recently accepted him because I'm like, oh, he must went to Lincoln Park.
Yeah, because he knows Ramisa as well.
Yeah. So when I see, okay, so I don't accept a lot of people on Facebook. Just as the last 2 years I have been, because I'm like, business is picking up on Facebook, but my money really comes on my IG from my IG.
Mhm.
So that's
That
where
makes sense.
I put all my cute little posts up there. Most of my stories go up there. So Facebook at one point was more personal. So I stopped. I was like really screening people, and I had like a whole bunch of weirdos that even though we had people in common, they would just send me weird stuff in my inbox, and I'm like, all right, cool, I'm done. Like that's good.
Mhm.
But now I'm like, okay, I can't really. I don't like to leave money on the table. So I'm like, let me just accept people. If they act crazy, then they get deleted point blank. So
Right.
it's not no big thing, but that's why my Facebook is not as strong as my IG, because I was like for years I was screening the hell out of my Facebook, and I'm just like, oh, we got 50 friends in common. I still don't know you.
Smart.
Exactly.
Put you on ice. I mean, I wouldn't
Smart.
decline it, but you know.
What about you, Ellen? Do you do any screening? Because I can imagine that inbox.
Oh, Facebook, I feel like I have to know you in order to accept you, but like in Instagram, it's all good.
Damn, that's why I ain't
Yeah,
get
you
accepted.
can't control who follows you on IG. 'Cause
Exactly, yeah.
I like really despise businesses that are private. Like, why are you private?
Yeah.
You just lost my money. Because
Mhm.
I'm not about to accept. I'm not about to send you no friend requests on IG. If I want to give you my money,
Right.
then I gotta wait.
Exactly.
Bye. Too bad.
Yeah, I know both of y'all are definitely having the what is that? The cartoon DMs. You want to have a free cartoon made? Inbox me. What they trying to get you to flip the money?
Motherfuckers started offering some sunglasses. Like, take me pictures of these sunglasses. Nigga, you see these ass glasses? Like, I can't wear no fucking sunglasses. Hey, every picture you see the motherfuckers magnify. You can start a fire with these motherfuckers on a hot sunny day.
But I thought you came from my best friend's brother. I called him my family, but his name is Aaron. Aaron Patterson.
Oh, hey,
Yeah.
Aaron. We are friends. We went to
Okay.
Denver all together a couple months. Was that last year, probably?
I think it was last year.
It was last year.
Yeah. But because I feel like I saw your name on my page for a minute, not like years and years, but within like the last year or two, I would say, I don't know, recently enough. Who knows? But I think so I didn't really make Chris his jacket until recently, like November, October.
But you've been using him though. Like I see his face. I knew Crystal that way. Like yeah.
Yeah, we used to work together at the Gap back in 02.
Y'all out there folding them shirts.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers out there with that folding board, boy.
Yeah.
I worked at the
Boy.
Gap
Way
for about
back.
4 days. Like I can't do this shit. This shit here is the general.
Oh man.
No, I like the Gap. The Gap was all right with me.
My structure, I couldn't do it. That motherfucker was a.
But see, it
But now
wasn't
you
that.
ain't talking about structure.
Bro, back the fuck up.
You know why I like the Gap? Because I used to open up hella Gap cards, so they kept me on the register. So I never really had to bother with the people for
Which
real.
one you was at?
Oh.
The flagship store.
In Michigan?
Uh-huh.
I worked at all 4 of them stores. I worked at Michigan, I worked at the Gap, Guess, and Levi's all at the same time.
See, too much.
Wow.
He was making moves on them.
Every time they was motherfucker go on break, I gotta stand in the corner, make sure motherfucker don't walk past and go to 7-Eleven. Be like, yo, I saw that nigga over there. That's a conflict of interest.
I got caught up like that. I used to work at Nordstrom, so I basically worked all up and down Michigan Avenue.
Wow.
Yes, my friends they joke about I can't go back and work anywhere because I quit all my jobs. Like I just clock out on my lunch break and go home.
That's how I did Levi's. I went
That's
to get a
smart.
hot dog from 7-Eleven and just never came back.
That's how I did the
can't do
Gap.
this shit no more.
Employee number probably still
Wow.
work.
Yeah, but I was working at Nordstrom, and I guess my manager saw me at Coach, and she was like, "Oh, do you work at Coach? Because I thought we had a conversation that that would be a conflict of interest, and you couldn't work there." And I was like, "You ain't see me at Coach? What are you talking about?" So,
Shout out Maverick.
That never
You saw it
happened.
come.
That never happened.
Right.
That was not me.
I'm like, "Oh, black folks don't look the same, girl. What are you
Probably
talking
waved
about?"
their hand and shit.
So
That was actually Friday.
I had to quit Coach, and it was a seasonal job anyway. And I'm just like, it was a seasonal job. Like, let me stay here. It's a discount.
Let me eat.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we got going on with Dave Chappelle. Bitch, I'm broke.
All right, so let me ask y'all about y'all creative process. Like, you know, what when you sit down, like, where does the inspiration come from? Like, you know, when you obviously you guys, you know, you have businesses, so you have that aspect of it. But you know, what's like the process? Just like walk us through you guys' process when you have an idea and just trying to flesh it out.
So my
Burn a little sage.
I don't burn no sage.
Sage in there.
Couple incense.
I don't burn no sage.
Incense though.
I don't burn incense.
Nah.
I do have candles. I don't like how incense smells, so I do.
Some lucky day.
Some blue sage.
So I usually I try to just like I got blogs that I follow and you know some people that I look up to as far as like inspiration. So I'll go on their IG page to see what they post and I'll save a picture or I'll go back into like my archives of pictures that I've saved from like years ago just to kind of see because we know fashion is all recycled anyway. So but if I have an idea, I try to keep my sketchbook or some kind of book of some sort with me. Like I'm old fashioned. I don't like to put stuff in my phone. So I like to write stuff down. Because I believe it's more powerful in terms of manifesting, but that's another story. So
that's true though. I agree.
It's
the truth though.
So I usually like if I have an idea, I'll write it down and then I'll circle back and start sketching. Or if I see fabric, I'll get swatches and kind of base off whatever I collected. I'll sketch off of that and just kind of like let it happen organically. But I don't really have like a routine, I guess. It just whatever the spirit moves me to do, that's just what I do. So if I'm sketching, I sketch first. But sometimes I just gotta create right away instead of sketching. And then after I create it, then I sketch it out. I may not even get no sketches done. You know what I'm saying? So it just kind of depends. And I'm really big on music. So I let a lot of the music that I listen to kind of inspire me and like move me. Unfortunately, I like Nicki Minaj a lot. So I have to say that kind of shamefully.
Get the creative juices going.
Yeah, she does. Okay. But I think it's her confidence that like boosts me a little bit. You know what I mean? So hearing her rap and spit like non-gimmick Nicki, because I felt the side eye over here.
When you first went to the whole like the inspiration, looking like classic Pat is inspiring this shit.
Yes.
No.
Get it
That's
green,
where the
nigga.
asshole come from.
Get it green, nigga.
No. So I listen to trap music when I'm getting tired or if I just need to like get zoned out.
Okay.
You know, it's either trap music or Beyonce. But yeah, definitely got to put that. Beyonce. So I really don't have a routine. I haven't been sketching a lot like I usually do, which is pretty pathetic. That's my phone, ain't it? Well, that's yours. Okay. But usually, so to circle back on what I was talking about manifesting, I usually write down as of recently. I used to write down like my quarter goals and things that I wanted to manifest, but now I do it daily. So if I have an idea or if I feel like I'm having like designer's block is what I call it, I'll just like write down. I'll wait to grab some
This happens often. This podcast is always like pass out time.
This is how we do our creative juices.
Okay.
Everything gets passed around.
I'm good.
So I'll just manifest.
You good?
And do it that way.
Okay. What about you? You first.
All right. What about you, Ellen? Is your process similar, or I mean, I know you got deadlines and stuff going on too. So, how does that affect your creative process, or is it just, you're able to just go ahead and
What trap music you listen to?
Okay, so I feel like there's a lot of, like what Veronica was saying, there's a lot of like research, going on behind a project. Like I would need to know like a theme, or like if it's more corporate, I would need to know like, oh, what's your audience? What's like your demographic? Stuff like that. But I like to go basically freestyle, but with design, yeah, like there is an element of research in terms of like, what I said before, like theme, like, okay, so we're gonna do like an old time cartoon type of theme. Okay, what does that look like? I pull up like pictures, understand like different genres, but then after that, I like to go based off of freestyle. Like I like to like sketch something up. Also, if I'm working with leaders, of course, like Diego is like we understand each other so well where like he can just like say anything he wants, like what he's thinking, and I'm like, all right, I can like draw that up, and like I literally can like pull up something or like manifest his ideas within like the next day. And so we have that like working relationship, and so it's all about like the people surrounding you, like understanding like how I work and how they work. So there's a lot of like coordination with that. But then what I love to do is more based off of colors. I love color theory. I love like the relationships behind colors. It's very like, I guess, strategic in term of like art,
Because you created color.
Hey. Yup.
Bonus knowledge.
But like I went to art school, and so like they did teach us to like break down like the process of like, okay, well, if like understanding color, like the color theory of like understanding like pastel colors, what does that look like? How does like for streetwear, like what are fall colors like? Like there are different rules to what we're creating, but I love to break them as well.
So I got a question, because I've always had this thought in my head when it comes to like streetwear, and you know how you can always know that what shoes come out in advance. So are you are the color schemes of T-shirts or anything themed off of the shirt, off the shoe that comes out in advance?
I was a ghost designer for a brand, and everything was based off of shoes. So I had to research like every single Jordan that was coming out. I had to research. 23 is back, and like, yo, I gotta roll this shit.
Yes. So they give you everything that comes out that year.
Yeah, right. So I had
at least you know up to that day. Because I was always thinking about that shit, because when we was working at Nike Town, and you already had the hot sheet, and you already knew all these color codes. You knew everything that came out in advance.
Yeah.
So you already, before it was 23 is back, you knew what came out. They had that hot sheet shit that we had. So we always knew, we were saying, we know 001, man. Like, they didn't tell you the color, but the color code was always on a shoe, on a paper. Like a, what do you call it? What you call that shit when you...
Hot sheet?
Hot sheet, or what we call it professionally. With the little blocks and shit. Yeah.
That was the hot sheet.
There you go. I do this for a living. But yeah, we have that sheet that comes out, and it would be like damn 2 months in advance sometimes. The original, not the hot sheet, but the other one that came out.
The release sheet?
The release market sheet.
Release schedule?
But it only has color codes on it.
Yeah.
So you need to know the color code to know
exactly
what the fuck the colors were going to be to begin with. So that's what we use to know what shoe was coming out.
Yeah, so when I was...
Without pictures.
Exactly. So when I was a ghost designer for another brand that I will mention, I literally had to...
You the initials?
No. I'll tell you after. But like I literally had to match every single shoe that was coming out that was going to be hot, like the next Jordans or whatever, and I had to match the the set of clothes that I was designing to that shoe, so like people can match it. But like we don't do that at Leaders. We preferably match the apparel to the hats.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
That's different.
So you can get your fit on.
That's it. Get it off.
But sometimes
Yep.
it works. Sometimes you see like
Get it off.
like the elephant print hat and shit like that. You know that shoe had to be coming out. You know it's big
Exactly.
elephant print hat.
Yes. So I did, when I was working for the other brand, I did do patterns like that, like elephant print, where like the whole shirt was the print or something, or like a part of the design.
Okay.
So it matches up with the shoe.
All right, so I switch it up a little bit. I want to talk about the oversaturation of streetwear to a degree.
Oh yes.
Because with the equipment being so easily accessible now, like everybody tries their hand at trying to create or make their own brand. Everybody loves to say, "Oh, I got my own brand," and it's it's really just like that. Like I know the next couple of Jordans coming out, so everything is that particular color.
Yes.
So with
It's hip hop.
yeah, that too. So what are y'all feelings when it comes to this market? Because it's not only the brands that you represent, but you have so much competition. So what do you feel makes you stand out, and just what's your overall feelings about, the oversaturation? Is it looked at negatively, or is it something that you kind of welcome as a healthy competition?
A little bit of both. So, and not to say this in no kind of like
She ain't
way.
minding y'all niggas. That's what she about to say.
I mean,
Yep.
but no, seriously. But like I said, I do custom from like cut and sew, start to finish. Like literally from concept to final execution is all me.
Not a lot of people do that, by the way.
So that's what separates me, and I don't have nobody else helping me. So it's quality control. So I know for a fact that everything is intact. Like you're not getting something that's just thrown together. Like I'm definitely, worked too hard over the last 12 years. So I'm not about to just give you anything. And with the fact that it's so many brands out here, doing wholesale, buying boutique clothes, selling like the Fashion Nova-ish kind of stuff. It's just like there's really, I don't even look at it as competition, because at the end of the day, like fast fashion is definitely kind of like leading the way right now, but there's still a small group of people that appreciate looking different and appreciate custom and appreciate that luxury. So that clientele is what I want. I don't want the client that's wearing a $10 dress with $700 Louboutins. Like y'all can stay over there. You know what I mean? So I don't really look at it like competition. I also don't kind of, I pay attention now as recently because I kind of got to know what's going on in the fashion world, but I used to not even kind of like look at what would be considered competition, because it's just like y'all ain't really, we ain't even on the same level to be looked at. You know what I'm saying? So in terms of the streetwear, like it just is what it is. Like everybody gonna have a t-shirt brand and match it up with Jordans, take a picture with the t-shirt on the floor with the Jordans right next to it. Like, you need this shirt. You know what I'm saying?
Tacky
Yes.
motherfuckers.
And I'm not, that's not no sneak diss to anybody at all. But, no, not at all.
That's free promo, brother. You can't do that.
You know.
It is. This still is.
But no, and I don't really like diss nobody anyway, because I don't want that energy to kind of like come back to me. I don't want to recycle that energy. So you know, I definitely feel that it is
repel it.
It is oversaturated. The boutiques, everybody got an Instagram boutique. Everybody selling something.
Man, Gorilla pimp them hoes like Pat told. Yeah, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, Gorilla pimp them hoes.
I'm not about to be. Listen, I almost spit a line real quick in his voice and everything. I'm not gonna do that though. But yeah, like I mean, it's money out here for everybody to get. Obviously, you know. So I just feel like focus on what your talent is, and for me, my talent is custom made from head to toe, sketching, and just interacting with my client. Like I've always been in retail as well, on top of having a brand. So like me giving customer service, it's just like second nature. So I think that's what separates me again. It's the customer service, the knowledge. Like, I didn't wake up one day and say, hey, I'm about to make some clothes and I want a fashion design. I want a clothing line. Like, this is like literally a job for me. So I take it a lot more seriously than most people who just wake up and be like, I'm going to take this master class and buy this Boss Palace package and get me some vendors and sell some clothes. Like, it's bigger than that for me. So, and then also, too, like, what's for me is for me. So I don't really, like, even be looking at nobody else and what they're getting. Because they ain't touching me. No, I'm just kidding.
No,
talking shit.
No,
I'm totally kidding. I'm so humble.
Finish it. You gotta finish.
It's record.
Finish her. No, I'm just kidding.
All right. What about you, Ellen?
All right, I actually talk about this a lot. So the oversaturation of streetwear, it's a huge thing right now, you know? Like every kid, they have their own brand now. And like if this was like a few years ago, like every kid will want their own music label. Or like every kid will want their own like app, you know? So like it's like the trend now, right? To have your own brand. So it's funny because like kids actually do hit me up on Instagram and on Twitter like, hey Ellen, I'm trying to start my own brand, can you help me out, like what I gotta do? So I have these like
that was the whole blueprint. Lazy
So,
fuckers. Do some research and read a fucking book.
You be sending niggas off like
You gonna tell the
a
kid
Roosevelt Canal.
Yes, read a fucking book.
From that bogus ass t-shirt shop over there.
Nigga, learn. Like, what the fuck?
So like I do have like a set list of questions to ask them. Like the most important is like what makes you unique? What is about your brand that you want to stand out from everyone else? You know, like and then like what do you want to do with it? And so like of course a lot of them will say like, oh well, I'll just have like famous people wear my brand. I know like people, you know, and like no, that's not it. So, like, with that, I feel like the most important thing for, like, the young kids that I tell is, like, you need your own story. You need something that separates yourself from everyone else because you are starting a competition with so many people and you don't even know that.
Right.
Like, it's like, fun and games to see, like, the success of Joe Freshgoods, you know, the success of leaders and Juggernaut and everyone, right? But it's so hard. It took 10 years. It took 20 years to like get to that point. Like I don't know if they realize that. They don't realize like the back end of like understanding the business behind it. So that's what I really try to incorporate. And also I'll also ask like who are your inspirations? Who do you want to be like? Supreme, Babe. Well,
that's why you need to tell them to read.
Exactly.
Only saying how to make it in America. Everybody makes jeans. Just don't do it.
And I heard a story that Nigo's dad was like part of the Japanese mafia, and that's how he got like $1 million.
Wow. See, they know where the money come from.
Okay, but like I don't want to spread that rumor out. So like this is just what I heard. You know, like,
real quick.
So you don't know where like these companies are coming from, you know.
Right.
So
See, I go lie though, they did really pop up out of nowhere. I remember when Bape was really hot, and I couldn't figure out how to order this shit because you go on the website, it was always like Japanese,
and
then and they had like our currency is different.
Right.
Exactly.
They those fucking numbers. Like I don't have that much money.
Oh my God.
Exactly.
What t-shirt?
Yes.
Get a converter, nigga.
Oh my God, I went to
You
the
didn't have no
big store.
converter in
Not at that time.
2003.
Yeah, not at that time. That was
You
not common
could
knowledge.
have converted it on
Okay.
Google.
Thank you.
On Google, y'all say I'm real today. Think about smartphones in 2003. What the iPhone
I
you
said
have
not
now?
at that
I had a
time.
fucking what you call one of them motherfuckers.
Next tip.
And it had no internet. It just told you where the other nigga was at.
That's why I go to currency exchange, man.
Okay, I'm going to the currency exchange. Yo, I'm trying to buy a t-shirt online. I need to know what $63,000 means from a black girl who's a teller. This motherfucker don't know the currency.
Okay. I ain't say go to that currency
All she give out the quarters, niggas to go watch with.
Oh my God.
And cash payroll checks.
I'm not about
I'm
to
done
pay.
with this nigga. I'm done with him today.
Right.
We've had enough conversation. Now we're trying to get the show with his picks.
So we won showing.
you know how we have. Ian always have to show the true colors, but that's the truth though. Like I'm trying to order a babe shirt. I mean, when I got my first leader shirt, it was on like 40 something in Cottage Grove.
Yeah.
I walked in, and it was a fashion geek shirt that I bought. This was 2006.
Oh my god, yeah.
And you know what? That fucking shirt was $50.
That's the spot we went to.
Really
But
awesome. Yeah.
He was working at Nike Town and some motherfucking women's ones that just came out, matched the bitch perfectly. I was like, I had this motherfucker. I had never paid $50 for a t-shirt in my life. And probably never will again.
That's so funny because women's ones just came out recently.
I'm like, bro,
Full circle.
$50.
Look at that.
And this was they ain't had no employees there. This might have been Corey and Diego and that motherfucker. Because it was just me and that bitch, and it was just a bunch of shirts.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, bro, $50 for a t-shirt?
They knew
Yeah,
what
we
they
got
we got
Nike
silent.
Nike Town in 2006. You might have made about
$9
$9 an hour.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's about half my check.
It was about $9.75.
That's it in 06?
Yeah.
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 That makes sense.
Fucking minimum wage. And matter of fact, when I got hired, them niggas was mad because we was making more than them.
Yeah, we was.
And I was getting,
Because y'all came
we
in
got
making
it might have been like, no, it
$9.50.
was $10.50.
We got cussed
Oh,
up.
I think I was making 9 in 01 plus we had, I don't know what the structure was when y'all was working there, but it was hourly plus 3% commission.
We didn't have.
Well, see, we was in
didn't have
S&I,
commission.
so we didn't have no
That's
commission.
why we
was,
got that Nike check. Because they have the blood and sweat of you, your 3 months.
Listen.
Thank you for your tears.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you for your.
So I guess.
Thank you did something to
So I
say.
guess I got my SBA advance
Right.
back
Yeah.
then.
Back then, yeah.
Yeah. But we definitely, I was making a lot of money at Nike Town. I was like 18, 19, making $9 an hour almost. I was like, I think I was like $8.75 actually, plus 3% commission.
Nah, we had no commission.
Man, we used to put stickers on everything. Like, no one helps you. Boom, boom.
I got them socks for you, sweetheart.
Like all that,
Add-ons, yeah.
man, all that add up. All that added up. So. Yeah, and I think I was in golf and kids. I want to say that was on the 3rd floor. I know it was kids for sure. And I think golf might have been up there too. So yeah, no, I was in a good spot for sure.
Yeah, that was around the same time that Tiger Woods was winning too. Motherfuckers want to get away and get that same shirt he had on. That's that red polo?
I never understood that.
Me neither. Those polos was whack, bro.
I never.
My father.
understood
The
that.
collar don't pop. Me, I can't wear no polo. The collar
I
don't
never
That's
understood.
like
I
some polo.
will never
Want to be like
understand.
Tiger.
Why?
I want to be like Tiger.
Why?
Tiger was, and plus at that time nobody else was wearing like a red polo out there, like black slacks.
Who wants to be Tiger?
So, yeah, apparently a lot of people. That
I
Tiger
see.
Woods shoe didn't stay in there long at all.
That
It was a
shit.
golf shoe.
That shit's crazy.
I actually wanted a pair of them bitches.
Just cause, right?
I was going casually. You just take the things on the bottom, unscrew them shits. Wear like this from Coleman.
Oh, my
All right, so
God.
I'm gonna move to the next question on that one.
Thank
I
you.
used to work there too.
What would you say is your best collaboration or your best design?
Oh.
Well, you got all the collabs under your belt, so you go ahead and answer that.
Collab
Okay.
and best design.
Okay, well, best design, I feel like the hundreds, because that was a very personal project for me. You know, like, of course, I said, like, I was fans of Corey Diego of Leaders, and then Bobby Hundreds and Ben Hundreds of the Hundreds. So I gave that collab my all. I hand drew everything. They got, you know, of course, the Hundreds team had to, like, tweak or whatever to match their brand up. But that, I gave, like, my whole heart out because, like, you know, I've been following these two brands since I was in high school. So, like, that was so personal to me. And I wanted to make sure that that collab hit, you know, both in Chicago and LA.
Right.
So that was, I guess, my best design. But the coolest collab was, of course, Adidas.
Okay.
For sure. And Billionaires Boys Club. Billionaires Boys Club.
I like that BBC.
Yeah.
That was hot.
I hand drew that also, like the Chicago, especially the All-Star Weekend collab we did with like the Chicago skyline and like all the different aspects of Chicago.
That's
Yes.
what collab. You worked with Hebrew Bradley?
Oh, yeah, I did.
I've been thinking that
Yeah,
I've
it's
been
like
thinking
you
that the
know,
whole
it's like
time.
Hebrew
Like,
Bradley.
damn.
That's what you want to do?
For real.
Oh yeah.
I've been thinking that the entire time. Like,
Yeah, I worked with Hebrew Bradley.
I know that, but I was like, huh.
That was like for a really short time, but like it was really cool, like seeing how he moved and how like he was able to set up like gallery spaces and everything, and like he had his own team, which was crazy. I feel like nowadays fine artists are their own brands. You see Hubert Brantley, Mary Carmi, Jeff Koons, like these are big names, but also they have like people working for them, right, and their name is the brand. Right. So that is very interesting to me.
Okay, so so I don't have any kind of like big, BBC and Adidas under my belt. No, I'm just kidding. But that's amazing though. But I think my best collaboration was with my homegirl Brandy Penelope. She's a stylist. She styles. I'm not really big into sports, but what's that guy's name that played for the Bulls?
Levine?
No. Wendell Carter. So she styles Wendell Carter. She styles Polo G. I think she did some work for Herbo. She has a lot of celebrity clientele under her belt. So her and I went to high school together, and we're both Virgos. We're both like insanely obsessed with Nas, and we both always just had like an organic, really good friendship. So I liked her style. She has like a more of a kind of like that, not really, I wouldn't say, I want to say like Japanese, kind of like how the Harajuku, that's Japanese, right? The Harajuku Barbies.
Yeah, exactly.
I was going to say, I'm trying not to curse.
Shit?
Yes, I'm trying to be poised.
Let all that out the window.
Somebody said it, yeah.
I'm trying to be poised here. Okay, so she's like that, like a Harajuku meets urban streetwear meets high end. Like her style is so unique, and I always just like admired how she dresses. It's like so effortless. It's just she puts some shit on and she just look cold. So, and she's always admired my work, and I'm like, well, let's just work together. So I made her this dress for Sneaker Ball, which is one of my favorite pieces as well. So it just makes sense to talk about this one. And it was like this neon green, like chartreuse is like the technical color, but it was like this neon, like lemonade color. And she was really big on 3M, the reflective. Yep. So we made this Sneaker Ball dress in 2017, right? And it was like this big ass tulle skirt with like a sheer neon bodysuit, and I trimmed it with the reflective. So, and it just like took off. So we were like, well, let's make a collaboration and let's do a capsule surrounding this dress. So that's what we did, and the capsule was dope. Like I said, we're both Virgos, so we overthought every single thing. So it took us 500 years to finally get this capsule out.
Sounds about right.
I called her one day like, Brandy, I'm tired. I'm about to just put this shit out here. Black Friday coming up. I'm about to just throw it up so we can make some money at this point.
Right.
And she like, well, if we're going to do that, at least let's try to go out with some dignity and let's just take some cute photos. So we literally, in the middle of November, cold as hell outside, I parked my car illegally. She changed clothes in the car. We shot like 4 different things. She changed in the car. We shot the MCA real quick. We shot by the Bean. And we shot in front of Rothschild's liquor store on 39th in Indiana.
I know liquor store that.
Yeah. So, and we shot on 40th and what is that street? The Green Line. We took some dope ass pictures on the fly. Like, okay, let's just get it cracking real quick. And our pictures came out so cold, and that collab did so well. And that's like some of my favorite pieces.
All right then. So this is Shovanist Pigs, episode 85. We about this thing.
85.